Have you ever pulled on a beautiful pair of wide leg pants, caught your reflection in the mirror, and thought, now what in the world do I put on top so I don't look like I'm wearing a tent? If that's you, take a breath, because you are nowhere near alone. For years, we were told there was only one rule for wide leg pants: wear volume on the bottom, and you must squeeze into something tight and clingy up top to balance it out. I don't know about you, but at this stage of my life, squeezing into anything is simply off the table. Comfort is not something I'm willing to negotiate on. But here's the thing, neither is looking beautiful. And the good news is we don't have to choose. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is a place where we prove again and again that elegance and ease were never opposites. They were just never taught to us together. Today, we're solving one of the most common styling struggles out there: what to wear on top with wide leg pants, so they feel less like a mystery and more like your new favorite silhouette. Because let's be honest, wide leg pants deserve some love. They move beautifully when you walk. They let you breathe. They skim rather than cling. But pairing them well isn't about hiding your body, it's about proportion. It's about knowing where to add a little definition so your whole outfit feels balanced instead of shapeless. You don't need a tiny waist for this to work, you just need a top that understands its job. So let's go through 7 blouse styles that do the styling work for you, no shapewear required, and more importantly, let's talk about why each one actually works. Because I never want you just following a rule blindly. I want you understanding your own silhouette well enough that you could walk into any store, anywhere, and know in about 3 seconds whether something is going to work for you. That kind of confidence changes how you shop, how you dress, and honestly, how you feel walking into a room. Before we get into the first blouse, let me ask you something, and I'd really love an honest answer in the comments. Do you think we were ever actually taught how to dress for our own bodies? Or were we just handed a list of rules meant for bodies that looked nothing like ours? I have my own opinion on that, but I want to hear yours. Let's start with the first blouse, the crisp, boxy, cropped button-down. Now, before you picture something meant for a 25-year-old standing on a street corner in a fashion magazine, let me clarify. Cropped here doesn't mean midriff. It means a blouse that hits right at the hip bone, structured enough to float over the tummy instead of hugging it. This is an entirely different garment from the word cropped might conjure up in your mind, and once you see it styled correctly, you'll understand exactly why I love it so much for this particular pairing. Here's why this pairs so beautifully with wide leg trousers, and I want to walk you through the actual visual logic of it, because once you see it, you'll never unsee it. When a long shirt hangs untucked over wide pants, the fabric just cascades straight down, and the eye can't find where you begin and the pants end. You end up looking like one long rectangle. But a cropped, structured shirt creates a visual break exactly where the pants start, and that break tricks the eye into thinking your legs begin higher up. Instant length, zero effort. Look for a sturdy cotton poplin or a good linen, something with enough body to hold its own shape away from you rather than draping against your midsection. Pop the collar, roll the sleeves, and let a little wrist show. That small hint of skin keeps the whole look light instead of boxy. Second, and this one is pure glamour, the classic wrap blouse. Silk or a beautiful low-maintenance satin, either one works wonders. Wide leg pants carry visual weight down low, so a wrap blouse balances things out by creating a soft V neckline that draws the eye upward and elongates your neck. But the real magic is that a wrap top defines your waist at your own natural narrowest point, whatever that looks like on you, without ever feeling tight. If you're worried about gaping or shifting throughout the day, and I know many of you are because this comes up constantly in my comments, look for a faux wrap style that's stitched in place, giving you all the visual benefit with none of the fuss. Or simply tuck a matching camisole underneath, which also happens to add a lovely bit of color if you choose one in a contrasting shade. This is the pairing I reach for when I want to feel like the most elegant woman in the room without any real effort, whether that's a dinner out, a gallery opening, or honestly, just a Tuesday when I want to feel like myself at my best. Now let's bust a myth, because I think this next one might surprise a few of you. Somewhere along the way, we were told that wide leg pants and tunics could never coexist, that the combination would swallow you whole and leave you looking like you borrowed fabric from a tent sale. I understand where that fear comes from. I've felt it myself, standing in a fitting room wondering if I looked put together or simply buried. But the solution isn't abandoning your tunics, the ones you already own and love, the ones that feel like an old friend when you put them on. It's choosing the right cut and knowing one small trick. Look for a band collar tunic with side slits. The band collar keeps things clean and structured near your face, which matters more than people realize, because whatever sits closest to your face is what people notice first when they look at you. And those slits let you do one of my favorite tricks, the French tuck. Just tuck a small section in the front, and suddenly your waist and your leg line are visible, while the sides and back stay loose and breezy. Lightweight linen or a soft cotton blend works best here, since you want movement, not stiffness, something that sways gently when you walk rather than standing away from your body like cardboard. Before we go further, I have to acknowledge the question that shows up in my comments every single time we talk about wide leg pants, without fail, every single video. What on earth do you wear on your feet? It's such a common question that I promise we are going to give it the attention it deserves in just a bit, because the shoe can really make or break this entire silhouette, and I don't want to rush through it. If you're finding this helpful so far, this is exactly the kind of thing we talk about here every week. Practical, honest styling advice that actually respects where you are right now in life. Hitting subscribe means you won't miss the next conversation, and I promise there's always another one coming. Fourth on our list for date nights and dinners that call for a little more polish, the softly draped cowl neck. Because wide leg pants already have so much movement below, a cowl neck keeps the eye moving upward toward your face, where you want it. The soft folds create texture at the chest and frame beautifully whatever necklace or earrings you love to wear, almost like a built-in display case for the pieces you love most. Choose a fabric that drapes like liquid, a modal knit or a fine jersey, and if you prefer more coverage, a shallow cowl gives you the same elegant effect without sitting too low. There's no rule that says elegance requires exposure. Some of the most sophisticated women I know keep everything covered and still manage to look like they just stepped out of a Paris cafe. It's entirely about the drape, the color, and the way the fabric moves, not about how much skin is showing. Fifth, and this is my everyday favorite, the lightweight ribbed knit top. I know ribbed fabric makes some of us nervous, worried it will highlight every curve we'd rather not highlight, and I understand that hesitation completely. But a fine gauge rib actually does something wonderful, something most women don't realize until they try it. Those subtle vertical lines pull the eye up and down rather than side to side, which pairs perfectly with the long sweep of wide-leg trousers to create one continuous elongated line from shoulder to ankle. It's one of those simplest optical tricks in fashion, and yet almost nobody talks about it. Because the fabric is lightweight, you can tuck it in fully or do a French tuck without any bulk at the waistline, which means it works whether you're running errands, meeting a friend for lunch, or heading to a casual weekend gathering. I love styling a classic black or navy ribbed nut with crisp white linen wides in the summer, or a warm caramel tone with denim in the autumn. It's simple, it's sophisticated, and it proves that casual dressing never has to mean boring dressing. Sixth, for those days you want a bit of drama, a little something extra, the statement sleeve. Here's the one rule that makes this work, and it's really the only thing you need to remember. Keep the bodice slim and tailored, and let all the drama live in the sleeve. When the center of your outfit stays streamlined, your waistline stays visible, and the volume up top reads as intentional rather than overwhelming. This is the difference between looking like you made a bold choice on purpose and looking like your blouse simply got away from you.
Push the sleeves just slightly up to show a little wrist, since the wrist is naturally one of the slimmest points on the body, and that small reveal lightens the whole silhouette in a way that's almost surprising given how small a gesture it is. It's proof that the tiniest details often carry the most visual weight. An outfit like this says something about you, that you know exactly who you are and you're not afraid to have a little fun with your fashion, even now, even after decades of being told to shrink or fade quietly into the background. And finally, number 7, the asymmetrical hem top. This one might be the most underrated trick in mature styling, and I genuinely wish more women knew about it. A straight hemline across your midsection creates a flat horizontal line, which visually widens and shortens you, no matter your actual size. It's simply how the eye reads straight lines against a body. An asymmetrical hem replaces that with a diagonal line instead, and diagonal lines keep the eye moving, gently disguising any area you feel less confident about, while making your legs look longer in the process. Choose a fluid fabric like rayon or a soft linen blend, something with enough movement to let that hemline sway naturally as you walk. And let the hemline itself be the statement. No extra patterns needed, no busy prints competing for attention. This top does its work quietly through shape alone, which is exactly the kind of styling trick I love most, the kind that looks effortless because it actually is, once you know the secret behind it. Now, I promised we'd come back to the shoe question, and I meant it. This might be the single most asked question I get on any wide leg pant video, so let's settle it once and for all. The general rule is this. The hem of your pant should graze the top of your shoe, not pool on the floor and not hover awkwardly above your ankle. A pointed toe flat is one of the most flattering options because the elongated toe box extends your leg line even further, working in perfect harmony with everything we just talked about. A block heel gives you a bit of lift without sacrificing stability, which matters more to me every single year. And if you prefer a completely flat sandal in warmer months, look for one with a thin strap, since delicate straps read as more elegant than anything bulky or heavily embellished. Whatever you choose, avoid a shoe that disappears entirely under the hem, because a little peak of shoe at the ankle actually helps define where your leg ends and your foot begins, which keeps the whole silhouette looking intentional rather than accidental. So there you have it. 7 completely different tops, 7 entirely different ways to make wide leg pants feel effortless instead of confusing, plus the shoe rule that ties the whole look together. Let's do a quick recap because I think it helps to hear it all in one place. We had the artistic cropped button down, the glamorous wrap blouse, the rule-breaking band collar tunic, the elegant cowl neck, the elongating ribbed knit, the dramatic statement sleeve, and finally, the quietly clever asymmetrical hem. Dressing well in your 60s and beyond was never about disappearing into the background. It's about taking up space with intention, on your own terms, in clothes that actually feel like you, that honor both your comfort and your sense of style, because you have never needed to choose between the two, no matter what we were told for all those years. Tell me honestly, which of these 7 is already hiding in your closet, just waiting to be paired with your favorite wide-leg pants? And while you're at it, let me know which one surprised you most, because I have a feeling it might not be the one you expected. I'd love to know in the comments, and I read every single one. If this helped you see your wardrobe a little differently, if it made you look at something already hanging in your closet with fresh eyes, consider subscribing to Ageless Sophistication so you never miss the next conversation on style and confidence. We have so much more to cover together, and I would genuinely love for you to be here for it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Stay confident, stay comfortable, and I'll see you in the next one.